Hi everyone, welcome back to holdinmarket. I am Shovik and today in this video we are going to deep dive into an exciting topic, the best small cap mutual fund for the year 2025. In this video, I'll be explaining my top 8 checklist to identify the best small cap mutual fund for the year 2025. And will also reveal my top fund pick based on my understanding and risk appetite. So without wasting any time, let's get started with the video guys. So the first checklist that we're going to discuss in this video is ratings. Ratings are basically a report card for any mutual fund. It helps investors to track the fund performance compared to its peers. If a fund has a higher rating, it generally means that the fund is performing better in the market compared to its peers. Also, the fund has a lower risk and higher return giving capacity in the market. So always look for a higher rating in any mutual fund. This is the first checklist that we just discussed in this video. So here the top scorer is Bank of India Small Cap Fund Direct Growth, and the second scorers are Bandhan Bank, other one is Invesco India Small Cap Fund, other one is ITI Small Cap Fund Direct Growth, other one is Nippon India Small Cap Fund Direct Growth, and the last one is Tata Small Cap Fund. These are the second scorers. So the second checklist that we're going to discuss in this video is CAGR, Compounded Annual Growth Rate. CAGR shows the average annual growth rate of an investment over a specific period. In simple terms, CAGR helps us to understand how much your investment has grown each year on an average. So this is the second checklist that we just discussed. So here the top funds are HSBC Small Cap Fund Direct Growth, Invesco India Small Cap Fund Direct Growth, Nippon India Small Cap Fund Direct Growth. These three funds are the top scorer here. So the third checklist that we're gonna discuss in this video is Alpha. Alpha measures the fund performance compared to its benchmark index, say for example Nifty 50 or Sensex. If a fund has a higher alpha, it generally means that the fund has outperformed its benchmark index, whereas if a fund has a lower alpha, it means that the fund has underperformed its benchmark index. So alpha is an important measure to track the fund's manager's performance, how much your fund manager is adding value to your mutual fund. So always check alpha while tracking any mutual fund. Based on this checklist, the fund that has scored the top score is Invesco India Small Cap Fund Direct Growth. So this is Alpha. Alpha measures how much fund outperforms or underperforms its benchmark index, say for example Nifty 50 or Sensex. Positive alpha indicates the fund has performed better than the benchmark index, whereas negative alpha indicates the fund has performed worse than the benchmark index. So the next checklist is Beta. Beta measures the fund's volatility compared to the market. If a fund has a beta equal to 1, it means that the fund price move in line with the market. If a fund has a beta more than 1, it means that the fund is more volatile. Whereas if a fund has a beta less than 1, it means the fund is less volatile. So for a conservative investor, we should look for a beta equal to 1 or beta less than 1. So here the top fund that has scored the top score is LIC Small Cap Fund Direct Growth. So beta is basically a volatility tracker. Beta of 1 means that the fund, if the market goes up by 10%, the fund also goes up by 10%. Beta less than 1 means if the market goes up by 10%, the fund might go up by only 5%. Beta more than 1 means if the market goes up by 10%, the fund might go up by 15% or 20%. So the next checklist is Sharpe ratio. Sharpe ratio evaluates your fund risk adjusted return. It tells how much return you are getting for per unit of risk that you are taking in the market. If a fund has a higher Sharpe ratio, it means that the fund is giving better risk adjusted return. So we should look for a higher Sharpe ratio while evaluating any mutual fund performance compared to the risk it's taking. Higher Sharpe ratio indicates better risk adjusted return, whereas lower Sharpe ratio indicates poor risk adjusted return. So here the fund that has scored the top score is Invesco India Small Cap Fund Direct Growth. So the next checklist is Sortino ratio. Sortino ratio is similar to Sharpe ratio, but it mainly focuses on the downside risk of the market. If a fund has a high Sortino ratio, it means that the fund will perform good in the bear market, also when there is a market volatility. So for a conservative investor, we should always choose for a higher Sortino ratio fund, as it will perform good in the bear market. So always look for a fund having a higher Sortino ratio. Sortino ratio measures the risk adjusted return, focusing on the downside risk or negative return. Higher the ratio, the better it is. So here the fund that has scored the top score is Invesco India Small Cap Fund Direct Growth. So the next checklist is Traynor ratio. Traynor ratio evaluates the fund's risk adjusted return compared to the market risk. If a fund has a higher Traynor ratio, it means that the fund will perform better. Traynor ratio measures the risk adjusted return, focusing on the systematic risk or market related risk and not the total risk. Higher the ratio, the better it is. So here the fund that has scored the top score is Invesco India Small Cap Fund Direct Growth. So the next and the last checklist is standard deviation. Standard deviation shows the change in fund returns from its average return. If a fund has a higher standard deviation, it means that the fund is more volatile. Whereas if a fund has a less standard deviation, it means that the fund is having more stable or good returns. So standard deviation is an important measure while identifying any mutual fund. Standard deviation measures the volatility of risk associated with the fund's return. Lower the ratio, the better it is. So here the fund that has scored the top score is HSBC Small Cap Fund Direct Growth. So the checklist that you have just seen in this video is made from this list only. I have made this list first and I have bifurcated this into checklists. Then I have compared the returns. So this is the complete list that I have bifurcated from. This is the complete Excel. So now it's time to reveal the best small cap fund for the year 2025. So let's find it out. Tata Small Cap Fund Direct Growth. This is the fund that I choose for myself, and any conservative investor can choose this fund, as because this fund is having a lower expense ratio as well as it is performing well in all the parameters that I just mentioned in this video. Also, you can choose any of the fund from the top 5 list that I just mentioned. I have highlighted the top 5 funds. The top 5 funds are Invesco India Small Cap Direct Growth, Nippon India Small Cap Fund Direct Growth, Tata Small Cap Fund Direct Growth, Bank of India Small Cap Fund Direct Growth, LIC Small Cap Fund Direct Growth. You can choose any of this fund based on your risk appetite and your understanding. So for myself, I have chosen this Tata Small Cap Fund Direct Growth. So an important note, whether to choose a direct plan or a regular plan. Always choose a direct plan over a regular plan, as because a direct plan will have a lower expense ratio. Also, it will increase the chance of better returns against a regular plan. So from my end, always choose a direct plan, as because if you are tracking the funds by yourself only, you should always choose a direct plan over a regular plan. So after thorough analysis and considering my risk appetite, the fund that I chose for myself is Tata Small Cap Fund Direct Growth. So this fund is passing all the parameters that I just mentioned in this video. So I will start a lump sum or I will do SIP in this mutual fund. You can also invest in this mutual fund, but before investing in this mutual fund, you should do your own due diligence, as because this video is for educational purposes and not an investment advice. Link the Excel file in the description box below so that you can download the Excel file and do your own research. You can invest in any of the fund based on the top 5 fund that I just mentioned in this video. But more or less, this Tata Small Cap Fund will work for most of the investors, and this fund is also having a low expense ratio. So do like, share and subscribe the channel, as this video has took a lot of effort from my end, and I want to deliver such more exciting contents to you guys. So do like, share and subscribe the channel for more upcoming videos. So now you got the top 5 small cap mutual fund for 2025. I hope you found this video helpful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel for more upcoming videos. So see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned.